think we're live now. Hey everybody, Ariel Phoenix here. Thank you for joining me, whoever is here. I don't know if anybody is here. On my third, let me turn this down. My third live. Turn that down. Jamie's here to join. Oh, hey Daniel. Thank you for joining, Daniel. Daniel's been really supportive of my teething problems, getting used to this stuff. But I'm gonna jump straight in with Jamie so I don't start waffling on. And Jamie's gonna introduce himself, and we'll go from there. Let's add you in.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing,
How's it going?
Jamie? Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you've been doing in this space? I know quite a few people already know about you, but it's always good to reintroduce yourself.
Sure. My name's Jamie. I do mostly niche sites and affiliates for like my income. Um, got into niche sites a few years ago. Very much like we do it like a good living off ads, but it's never been a priority. And so mostly when we saw that you could make 10 times more per page view, like I've never been a good scaling lots of page views type of person. I was much better at just like getting the CRO right on lesser pages. I like just having a less pages to look after. So I've always been an affiliate guy. Now do SaaS a little bit as well, but mostly an affiliate marketer by trade and tweeting about that sort of stuff.
Okay, and how did you get into it? So you said you've always been a trader. Is that forex? What kind of trading is that?
So I've always been an entrepreneur. Like I always wanted to do business, right? And so when I was in, like for example, before I went to uni, when I was in college, I started like a streetwear label that like I had loads of followers on like Instagram, right? Never converted. Like 16,000 followers really quick. Like I actually like had like well-known people DMing like, oh, can we have some? And if I knew what I knew about marketing now, it would have blown up. But I didn't know anything when I was 16, 17. And so I had the entrepreneurial bug, and also just like I'd never had a chance of like getting people organically through. It was just like, oh, I've got to post 10 social media posts to get in front of people. And I hated the idea of like my time being connected to that. So when I discovered what SEO was, I was like, maybe this is the way to go and do it now. At the same time, when I graduated from uni, I had the idea to do like a social enterprise, like a non-profit, to do some stuff around like the homelessness in the UK. That had the initials IF. Ran out of money for that, and I was like, all right, I guess I gotta go do SEO and make some money and get back to it. And here we are.
Well, that's not a good. That's not a bad transition, is it?
I'll
Everything
take
happens
it.
for a reason. So okay, so non-profit. Your uni degree is that did that help at all? Is it anything to do with what you're doing now?
What I'll say is that, like, well, like technically, and I never went to the lectures anyway. They tried to kick me out. But like, even though like, even if you had learned stuff, right, it's not. I maintain that it's not the actual technical skills you learn, like marketing, economics. All those modules were fine. I learned like accounting basics. Don't really use them because I got an accountant. Like
Mhm.
economics, it's mostly theory. Marketing fine, but like even then, it's not really stuff that you come across on a day to day. Like they didn't teach you SEO. They didn't teach you algorithms. They didn't teach you like their Twitter open sourced algorithm. That should be straight on the things. Like what do you have to do to like in like it was all like theory that doesn't really apply. And so, no, it didn't help. But I do maintain that I think it was worth it because if I'd gone into the workforce at 18, I just wouldn't have had a big vision. Like I'd have it like because I grew up in a local area, London. I wouldn't have had like the idea that you could aim larger and try and make more than what people were making as a salary because I only had salary people around me. And being there for 4 years and just sort of having no responsibility and getting drunk allowed me to sort of be dumb for longer without having to commit to anything. So that when I came out of it, I guess you just gain more perspective that I think allowed me to aim larger or at least have the freedom to do so. And so I'm grateful for it, not for the education, but because you get to just age out into the system rather than making a choice that like it's difficult to like, if I go and become a plumber, it's difficult to get out of that. You're committed. I never had to make that choice until I was older and had more perspective.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there's no real beyond uni. There's no real transition from school to adulthood. It's just like you're thrown into it. But that's one of my issues with uni is you don't know who you are or what you really want to do. So that's my only issue with uni. But you take from it what you take from it. But so you're a Londoner too. London in
Yeah.
the house. And you've also we've also got a mutual show in common. We were both on the Doug show a few times.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Yeah. So when I hit 30 grand in a month for the first time, I was like, maybe I should like talk about this. Like, it's still, and still like imposter syndrome was crazy. Still, like, it was not like, I think I've done this and that. Like, but it was like midnight. And for some reason, you know, I feel like everyone becomes like the schizophrenic version of themselves at like midnight. You're just like, whatever, like you'll take the chances, right? So I was like, all right, I'll email people. And I emailed Doug, like, hi, I've got this like sites that are doing all right. Did you want to have me on? And to my surprise, like the next day he emailed back like, yeah, let's get it on like for the next week. And so it did that and it did quite well. And then from there I was like, all right, I can go on Twitter. Didn't know that there was like a big news site Twitter until I was on, and like it's like the place to be for news site people, I think. I know there's Facebook groups and forums as well, but I just naturally hang out in the Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's been really cool since then. So yeah, Doug is the reason I have a career and a personal brand.
That's amazing. Yeah, well, obviously Doug propelled me as well doing I had the same or similar. I didn't hit 30K and reach out to Doug. I was watching everything. So I'd watched every video, all the income reports, and I was really inspired by that. So I reached out to him and it was similarly, probably at the same time. Maybe I had a pre-workout or something and I was feeling a bit bold, but either way reached out and I got a good response. So yeah, same thing. And then I found my way over to Twitter and realized that there was a huge community because I just thought it was YouTube. I just thought it was, income school and the usual channels, but then seeing on Twitter there was people like yourself just doing crazy stuff. So yeah, but so we are going to be talking about shifting from informational content to affiliate content, and I've done the opposite of you, where you've said you like minimal work. I mean, we all kind of like minimal work, but for your, how much effort you're putting into your blogs, you'd like to just put up the posts that are high, high ticket. Each post is going to be worth a good amount of money if they're done right, and that's been really successful for you. For me, I went the opposite approach. I think because the education I was getting was from mainly income school and those kinds of channels where it was just like it's low friction. You just do the content, do a lot of it, and you'll get ad revenue. So you don't have to learn those sales skills and all of that stuff. So I took that approach. That's done really well for me. But now I'm looking to, when you notice your traffic going up and you can see that you could be earning a lot more from that same traffic, and you're in an industry where they have plenty of products. Why are you not doing more with affiliates? So I've reached out to you several times. In fact, I've bumped into you quite a few times this year already. And I think I'm bumping into you again in Birmingham for Jason's event. I think you'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I don't know what else comes up in between then, but yeah. So I reached out to you and I wanted some more information on your presentation. We both presented at the affiliate gathering, which was really good. You done really well, despite your how you felt a little bit before, which we won't get into. But yeah. So your presentation, everybody agreed it was fantastic. It was very insightful, and your tagline or your theme was "Do you like money?" Which everybody that loosened everyone up because we're all here. We all like money, and that's why we're here. So yeah, so I wanted to talk a bit about your strategy, and you can also mention, what you're working on now with your tool that you're marketing, and yeah, and just if you could, I don't know, if you could condense some gems. I've got this button prepared as well. Let me know if you can hear it. Hear
There we go. I feel like I've just
that?
won a level in Candy Crush.
Is that what it's from? I
It
just
sounds similar, I
downloaded
don't know.
it. For when you drop a gem, I'm gonna press that button. I'm trying to I'm trying to get this live stream stuff going. So yeah, so if you could condense, like going from informational content, what you'd start with first for somebody like me who has a ton of content, where you would go, like, and can you go wrong as well?
Sure. So the way that I explain affiliates versus ads and the pros and cons of each, and there's no real like right or wrong, right? It's just your journey and what you choose to go down. But I think that if at every level, and affiliate is not at the top of the level, it's mid. Then you can go to products and SaaS and coaching and everything else, where you go from low touch, high scale to lower and lower scale and higher touch, aka more and more hands on effort, but exponentially more money you can make at every level. And it's also like I consider it like I use this analogy for someone else, where it's like ads is kind of like you've got a job and you know what you're getting every single day. You're getting your 30 RPM, and that's there and that's sorted. It's much less volatile, but you are not paid the full value of your value if you do that. In the same way that if you earn a job, you don't earn the full value of that. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay you. So
Mm.
you're making someone else a profit. And affiliates are the same. You only get a fraction, but you extract more and more of that value as you go up from ads to affiliates to digital products to coaching to SaaS, everything else associated, right? And so affiliates is like the next stage up from ads, where you have more volatility because you've got to convert. It's on you now. You don't have that baseline cushion of ads where you know you're going to get paid 30 RPM, 40, 20, whatever it is. But if you get it right and you build connections with people and you do the CRO and you put the right blocks in front of people at the right time where they're ready to trigger a buying action based on the story you've weaved, your knowledge of your audience, where they are in the buying funnel at that time, your ability to do SEO and get in front of more people at scale, um, means that you can make exponentially more if you have those elements in sync. And it takes more active thought. You can't do it at the same scale as info content. Now, obviously, we've got AI, and you're great. But I was having a look around actually. By the way, I've discovered a new tool, the super demo thing that I saw on your site. That's an amazing tool. I'm gonna
But
use that.
oh
So
yeah, yeah, that click. Yeah, that's really good,
I
isn't
thought that
it?
was really cool. So I've been like, so for example, now the info market you can really scale with tools such as your fantastic tool that's going really really well. It doesn't scale as well with affiliates. It can, but it's a more nuanced. Like it separates the good from the people that just want to turn up, and that's meritocracy, right? But it's not as inherently scalable as ads are. But as you go higher and higher up that high touch point, low scale courses, SaaS, affiliates, products section, you have lower and lower competition because it's a more and more barrier to entry. Whereas everyone now can spin up a site, one click AI, do whatever, Surfer, whatever the tools are, Writio that Azoic guys pushing to jump ship from Azoic on, whatever they are. And the competition is your unique selling point is not the ability to scale content anymore. And so
Yeah,
um affiliate is more difficult to do from a very lazy perspective of just one click whatever. But if you can scale it, whether that's from bulk publishing, whether that's from your own personal writing and your psychology behind it or whatever, opens the door to a lot more results, if that does make sense as an intro of
yeah,
the differences.
yeah. No, mate. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. It definitely is harder to do again, as you said, from the era that we're in now, which is even the people that said a lot of crap about AI, they're just hitting it hard with as much as they can, and optimizing later. But yeah, from that perspective and the lazy way of doing things, which is I think where a lot of people are, myself included, in a way, I'm working around it, which is why I use bulk publishing because I like to layer the stuff that I do and really focus on prompting and editing and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a different ball game, and that's where learning those strategies come into it. And you had the spare framework. Do you still, I think some things have changed, but do you still, like, how do you feel about long intros now, and is it still something that you do you, I don't even know, do you still work with writers? I didn't even.
We still have a writing team. We haven't fired anyone since AI came in, but we are using it to inform briefs and stuff. So we can create briefs faster and create better briefs that mean that the writers can write stuff quicker. And then we've moved them over from per word to just hourly. So there's like, we're not like on opposite teams there. So the incentives are aligned. Um, as for the Spear framework, you're right. shorter intros are definitely the meta now. Not to sacrifice the rapport building and stuff, but you have to get like you don't have the time to tell a story like on those recipe posts that you could write 1,000 words before the recipe about how it was your grandmother's favorite dish when
Right.
she, you know, the smell of it as a child is like the whatever the memory, all those they're all the same
Yeah.
story packaged. Um, you can't do that. And I would never recommended doing that anyway, but now it's much more. You can do the elements of spear within a strong value judgment of this is the best product. So, first paragraph, main keyword, get them on the page and do something that like shows that yes, I'm on the right page. Like, for example, if you're doing best vacuums, you can like go like, um, you don't want to come home to horrible pet hair on your carpets and like, whatever the bad scenario is. The
Yeah.
best vacuum cleaners will make sure that you never have embarrassing issues when you have friends over or whatever that be, like the bad situation.
Yeah.
Quick couple sentence intro paragraph, and you've got the main keyword in there because like if you're not a high DR site and you're only getting the intro crawled, you want to make sure that the search engine is incentivized to keep reading and doesn't just pass your document up in the index completely. And then immediately, now you've built that first element of rapport, I would just make a value judgment of this. If you're looking, in my personal opinion, so you take a risk in the Robert Cialdini persuasion, was it influence, whatever it's called, where you have to like the more of your own, like you putting yourself on the line, the more convincing it is because you've taken a value judgment that puts you in a risky position. My personal opinion is that the best product is this, based on my own personal feelings, whatever. This is because it has the best this and this and this for the price. And frankly, to me, I think it blows this other product away because of this factor as well. If
Okay.
you're looking for an alternative because you want a vacuum that's specifically lightweight, then this one's decent, as well as this one if you want to specifically do kitchens, where like you cover all your segments and then hit them with the block. I mean, I personally use Lasso for the usually a top three picks in a table. Then you have your main one in the middle, best overall, which is usually where you funnel people, and most people will click that if you've written the intro correctly. And then you have your alternatives around the edge, as long as you know the people coming to that specific page. And for example, in the one, my ones was like best for, what did I say, best for kitchens and lightweight. If you think those are your other main segments, then you can mention that. And then underneath, I recommend for hitting featured snippets and for hoovering everyone up before you get into the main topics, have a bulleted list with all of your options, the product and best for X segments straight after. So they can basically pick them off a list however they want. And the bulleted list as a HTML thing underneath the H2, like the full list or whatever, is good for getting featured snippets.
Cool. So the best four, when you zero in on those ones, are those within the post or are those separate posts? Are those linking out to a new post? So best hoovers or vacuum cleaners for dog hair, best, are they linking to another post or are they all within that same post?
No, and I wouldn't even repeat the keyword too many times. I wouldn't say best vacuum for. I'd just say best for
Okay.
kids, best for beginners, best for Mac, best for uh, holidays, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like and then you can say the main keyword in the actual product review itself, either in the H3 for the thing or in the main text. But there's not that real need to like. Oh, I've seen, if you're a high DR site, I think that's fine. But I've just seen a lot of issues from over optimization recently from on page, and I wouldn't go and do that. But you want to make sure that you are telling people where to go, because everyone comes onto the page with a psychological self identification. I am rich, or I like to tell people I'm rich. Therefore, when I see the premium pick option, that appeals to my ego, and therefore to set, like, it's a challenge now. I
Yeah.
have to buy that one because if I don't, I'm broke. And now, what will my friends think of me? Whatever, if I've come for the best budget pick, I don't just want the cheapest. I want to feel safe.
Mm.
I want you to tell me something that's reliable and of comparable quality to something more expensive, but gives me a bargain, because there's a psychological profile of both wanting like the safety of reliable, but the bargain. Like, you're not just saying cheap for cheap's sake. You don't want to buy twice. You want to buy once, but buy right. And then also there's the safety. I want you to help me out, and I also want to feel like I've got one over the manufacturer. There's like a winning contest, like, in every single type of segment has a different psychological profile to work out and understand with regard to your particular audience. And if
Mhm.
you can get that right, you'll convert 10 times better than anything else.
I see. That's a lot to take in, but that makes a lot of sense, of course. When it comes to so doing that sort of, because that's a lot of going in and really, surgically dicing everything up and putting it together. From because I know you've done some stuff on programmatic SEO, you're touching on that. From that approach, how would you approach it with from that angle, and also because somebody in the chat has said they called programmatic SEO, and they've said, will Lasso ever? We're going to talk about Lasso in a moment, but yeah, so we'll come back to that. But from a programmatic SEO angle, how would you go about that?
Yeah, you can do it. I've not tried a lot of programmatic on like top 10 buyers guides. It's much easier to do on versus
Yeah,
articles, and I also like product reviews, but product reviews are so competitive that I think mostly you do need to have the product to like give the insights, or at least it'd be more difficult to do than versus, where there's less expectation from Google that you should own both products, and the comparisons between each other are easier to fetch as data from like a VA that you can then put into programmatic templates. So versus articles are the best there. I know that like some program, like huge, like alternative2.net and G2 are basically just alternative sites for the alternative keywords, and so they work pretty well, and they're sort of structured sort of like best buyers guides, but I think that they only work because they're less competitive, and I think best keywords are generally quite competitive, and it'd be difficult to rank for competitive. You could just go really long tail for like these roundup keywords, and I think programmatic will work really well.
yeah,
But the thing to note is the prompts would need to be really on point for that, because um, when you rank for something like best heavy duty vacuum, a lot of people make the mistake of writing something that's relative to vacuums rather than to the specific people that are looking for a heavy duty vacuum, more industrial, more heavy duty, more professional, higher budgets, higher expectations, no capacity for nonsense. They have a job to do. It's more uh, they're employed to do something, or they're starting a business. And so the prompting would have to avoid missing the search intent completely for the audience, would need to be heavily geared towards that specific keyword, to go heavy duty, industrial, employment, self-employment, start a small business, and whatever heavy duty vacuums can do that normal ones can't. It would need to zero in on those uses, which could definitely be done programmatically and via prompts, because LLMs know the differences intuitively. They just need to get that brought out of them, which just requires a clever prompter. And I'm interested to see how it perform actually. But I've tried it on product reviews and versus articles, and it works well.
okay, that's interesting because I didn't. I have written prompts that tell it to think about, the buyer, but not in that. I didn't think about it from that perspective. So I definitely think it can be done with prompting. So to get to reiterate that it needs to think about who might want, like you said, a heavy duty vacuum, what their day to day is like, and like ways that you can make it easier and things like that. So I think, yeah, really, I'm gonna play around with that for sure. Based on like on my own products, I don't even know what the range would be, but I'll have to have a think about it. But yeah, focusing on the buyer, um, that's a gem. So cheesy. I know. um, so let me say hello to niche site family. Hello, Zane. Hello, Zane. Hello, Zach. Blake Teeple, WP Eagle. Hey, Alex. And Justin. Hey, Justin. Programmatic SEO and Forte Growth Podcast. There is
That's
one
Gareth.
question. Oh, is that Gareth? Oh, okay. Hey, Gareth. Um, Will Lasso ever have a non WP product? Is it only? Is it a? I didn't know it was just a.
The main plugin is WordPress, but the performance analytics tracking is just a JavaScript snippet, so you can do it on any other side. But we're working on it. A lot of people have asked for it. It's just one of many things trying to get built at the moment. So it will come eventually. I promise.
Yeah, because there's a lot of programmatic sites that are not WordPress, or most of them aren't. It's all Python and yeah, headless. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I was thinking Jamie's talking and you're not talking. It was I pressed play on YouTube accidentally. Um, yeah, so yeah, most of those programmatic sites are not WordPress. WordPress programmatic sites are for people like me who can't code. Me and Justin as well. Justin can't code. um, so somebody said, "What's the super demo tool?" If you go on bulkpublishing.ai, there's a demo that looks like a video, and when you press it, you can just like navigate through it. So you pre-record yourself doing it like you're doing a screen recording, but every time you click, it registers that as an action, and then you can go back in the back end and edit it. But it's free. I think. I mean, is it super or super demo? It's you can. It's free to try, and upgrade if you want to. But yes, it's pretty cool. Um. So yeah. So from informational again to affiliate, would you recommend going into your informational content and changing that, like adding products to that? Because some people have said they've had success just going in and adding like a box, a Lasso box or AAWP box to their informational post, and it's increased Amazon sales. I'm not sure. What's your thought process on that? I've done
Um,
had some boost, but yeah,
the context is key. Um, a lot of the times, how-to guides convert as well as affiliate because the solution is a product. In the same way that a best article, the solution is the product because you're searching for a product. Just you've come to solve you get your solution from a how-to guide rather than a best product. If you're saying how to wash my car fast and you sell that, or like best fast car washer, whatever. I don't know if
yeah,
that actually is. I don't actually have a car, but like, you're still looking for the same solution. And so if you can gain people's trust in the how to guide, there's less pressure to give a super quick value judgment. You can take them through the story in a step by step process. And then the answer is the product. That can be really high converting because it naturally lends itself to a product solution. And you've given people information, they feel that if they like you, they want to return the favor, and they're more than happy to click that link. I think they understand how the game goes at this point, and that's fine. That's the point. Like they incentivized by buying um, the creation of information that helped them, and so the marketplace was a fair marketplace. They got their answer, and you got your affiliate. That's
yeah,
the game. Like you provided a service. Um, some info, it's just really difficult, and a lot of my info stuff is just pure info, or it's like funnel based to send someone to somewhere else that could then be like info doesn't have to exist to make affiliate commissions. It can exist to propel your affiliate stuff so they can make way more money, either as part of a topical map or just as a funnel. Like even if it's not that relevant in like a semantic way to um the buyer's guide, like you can, if you can think about these things and where people would go and the things that they'd type in, especially if
yeah,
you know your niche and you can come up with topics that no one else is thinking about, there's really good ways just to funnel people through. Like one really obvious one that's like basic is no one's writing how much does whatever cost. Often feature snippets for those will be just around like the best buyer's guide that contains a H2 for how much does it cost. And those ones are really good because one, if it's like a how much does a computer cost, you can mention the different types and how much they each cost, but different price ranges, the factors you'd expect to get from that, and then try and make an affiliate sell there. But they just direct so easily into best whatever, and then you can send them to your best cheap computers, best whatever from there if they are in the cheapest price range for how much it costs. Or if they want to spend a lot for a business, you direct them to your best computer for small business article.
yeah.
That's one example, but there are so many informational things that if you think about it properly, the funnel is there. It's just about getting them to click the internal link, even if there's not a natural affiliate play on that page itself.
So with the cost thing, because you mentioned, I'm sure Amazon don't like the cost, or are you saying like the best budget is that where that kind of wording comes into it? Because if it says how much does something cost, people want to know numbers, or you want a range, but Amazon don't like numbers.
Sure. So it's not product itself. It's things like how much does a laptop cost? How much does a vacuum cleaner
Rough.
cost? And then you can say each H2 is your general price ranges under $200, $200 to $500, $500 plus is like a beginner, hobbyist, professional, or whatever. And then you can say between $500 and $1,000, you should expect to have X feature, Y feature, and Z application. But you can't really expect generally to have the ability to clean carpets at a billion miles an hour like you could with a professional one. And be prepared for some types of pet hair that could be difficult that are really easy to do if you've got an industrial machine. Within this price range, the best ones are these ones. They cost between the price range. And if you name a price range, you're not in violation of terms of
Okay.
service.
Okay. because I've stayed off of the numbers. I was scared off of putting any numbers or any dollar signs on on my post before. But okay, so you're saying just the range and then
Yeah,
directing people to those ranges. Okay. Alex has said, because we were all at Search Birmingham, which was an amazing event. Um, yeah, definitely glad I went to that.
it was really good.
So he said, what was your biggest takeaway from Search Birmingham? And he said it was great to see us both again.
Yeah, good to see you. Really good to see you, Alex. Um, do you want to go first? Or
No, you could go. I think I know what mine was, but yeah.
I'm not allowed to talk about most of it. It
Oh,
was
really?
so like,
Oh, from the mastermind,
like
isn't it?
honestly, like I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say. It
Yeah.
was
That was the
there's
point,
levels.
actually. Yeah, that was that. I mean, well, okay, a rough. Okay, I'll go first. And my main thing was, well, one, I really wanted to talk to Kyle. I wanted to see Kyle Ruth. I've like watched every video. He doesn't have a YouTube channel, so that's how sad I am because I went and just found everywhere he's showed up. So yeah, it was nice to speak to Carl. And then I was on the Otis with him after. The group is amazing, the group chat, and yeah, the main takeaway I think in a vague way was the internal linking and how much more powerful it is. I mean, we know it is. We know we need to do it, but doing it to boost your pages and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say with that because there's another little hack that I just yeah keep that one. But what? So you've got that? That sounds like you've got so much. Because I missed the mastermind. I only went to the standard thing. Everybody's mostly ranting and raving about the mastermind, and then yeah, and that was where I think the affiliate group that you were in was just supposed to be insane, and that was by James Dooley. Is
Yeah.
that yeah? So we already know that there was a lot of there were a lot of these drop. So yeah, so what can you tell us without
Oh, that
giving?
was like there was like easily a 20 grand mastermind that
Wow.
initially like it was crazy. And even on the day, Mad Singers, you're gonna be
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
Oh,
His
yeah.
he's
Mads is cool. He's helped a lot as well. But yeah, I'll get him on maybe next. I'll get him on next. That'll be cool. But yeah, what?
he's the some of the stuff that he was saying on on the actual day of the event, just
Yeah,
chatting to people that were around. I remember just looking over at Jason and going, right, that's a 20 grand tip, and that's a 20 grand tip.
yeah.
A lot of it was around 301 redirects and like
Yes.
the stuff that people are doing with those right now, both Black Hat to destroy your competitors and to boost yourself up. And that
Yeah.
was very interesting because I've done 301 redirects. I've acquired domains,
Okay.
but not with the sort of consistency and building it into an actual baseline link building strategy that some of these other guys are doing. And it
Yeah.
like literally forms part of your link acquisition and velocity rather than just like a one off, oh, this looks cool, I'll do this. Like it's literally like the acquisition of links rather than going out and profiling and buying like, a link insert or a
Yeah.
guest post. The actual like, okay, I can give 50 links here and like it's basically like bundle buying, right? And how well they work still was an
Yeah.
interesting discovery because I would have thought that it's very easy to nerf, but for the moment people are getting away with it.
It's very much a hack. It's definitely a hack. I don't know. It's been around for a very long time and it's still working. And I had the same experience when I first met Mads, and that was at the London event. And immediately, I think that well, the next day, because I had way too many French martinis that day, but the next day when I'd recovered, I went and I started researching 301 redirects. I asked him to send me his best information on it. He sent me a ton of stuff and I felt more empowered because before I was just so scared to like anything to do with link building and 301 redirects because I'd got burnt before and I bought a really trash domain that had been bumped up by Fiverr links and stuff. And but luckily I got my money back on that one. So learning all of that stuff about 301 redirects and how powerful they are, what they can do, doing it properly. That was huge. And Mads is the 301 redirect guy. So and I reached out to Jason as well because Jason's done quite a bit of that. So Yeah, I've got more talks to have with other people, but yeah, those were some amazing takeaways for sure. Yes, Daniel, those are secrets. You've got to come to these events. But in a roundabout way, where I've mentioned internal links and how they are kind of like the underutilized superpower that you do have control of if you don't have a budget or the knowledge or the time to do the external link building and things like that. Internal linking is a great place to start, and educating yourself on 301 redirects, because yes, backlinks do matter. And I was previously the, oh, just front load loads of content, you can get the same growth, you don't really need backlinks, with my ignorance and lack of knowledge, but now I know better. And yeah, 301 redirects is a huge part of my process going forward. So
Well,
um,
I will say also, I mean, I think that the limit I will go is, of all of the murderers in the top level of the SEO people that aren't on Twitter, they none of them were talking about content.
yeah,
All links.
I get that. That makes sense. Because when you get like a decent 301 redirect, the content doesn't even matter. Or not even not a decent age domain or expired domain. The content doesn't matter, especially for the initial period when you put a bunch of stuff up. Google for some reason just loves that site, and it can do some stuff that a brand new domain just can't do. It has no chance of doing. Um, hey Carl. Carl says, "Hey Ariel and Jamie, greetings from Norway." Um, Alex said, Charles has said anything I learnt from the speakers I can share. Oh, okay. Well, Alex, you got to come on then. um, what's the did they have to order a taxi for you, Jamie? Did
No,
you?
they did in York, but in affiliate gathering. But I didn't have to this time in in Birmingham. I was still messed up there. I probably needed one.
How did you get back?
I got a taxi, but I think I put myself in it. Literally, I remember I was in. I'll tell this story. Fine, I don't care. I was in the taxi, and they were like, "Oh yeah, so where are you going?" I was like, "I don't know. Can you take me home? Because I don't know where I'm going." So eventually, I remembered, but like I just looked at it like blankly. I was like, "I have no idea where I'm going right now." It
And
was fun.
that's post pop world.
We didn't go Pop World that night, but oh no,
Okay.
we did we? I can't remember. I actually don't know where we went, but I remember the dance floor.
Oh, that's funny. And no press ups this time.
No, I wasn't in. I didn't do enough like practice. I'm glad that no one prompted me to go because I would not have done well. I'll practice
All of
if I
that.
can get a ticket to Chiang Mai. I know that I don't know if Jason's going to be there, but I know Kaz was speaking
Jason,
there. So
I think,
if
yeah.
I can get in shape there, my belated progress will mean that maybe I'm competitive there. But right now, definitely not.
Oh, so you're not going to that? Oh, it's not. You didn't manage to get a ticket either.
I would like to go if I can get a ticket.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice. Nick Jordan was. Oh yeah, Nick Jordan was awesome. He was talking about Nick Jordan, he was talking about content and no links, wasn't he? He wasn't about the
Yeah.
links, which was also refreshing as well. Um, can you recommend some reading from legit sources for 301 redirects? I can share the links that I've got in my Twitter. I'll have to get them and
I'd like those as well if Mad sent you them.
yeah, I can share those. It's really good stuff. If I can find it in time. My DMs are crazy these days. Not crazy in a weird way. Just like I need to get a virtual assistant to like so I don't miss anything because so much. Yeah, if I can find that, I'll post it. And do you think YM&YL niches are still impossible to crack? I don't think they were ever impossible. It's just that you're up against the same people we just mentioned who know the game and know the backlink process. Impossible to crack, or will the new perspective Google SG give opportunities? What do you think on that, Jamie?
Don't start a site because you think you might get in there because of Quora response that you can plant and parasite into like a high ticket keyword, right? I until I see it being worth it, I'm not going to spend any extra time on it. That being said, like YM&YL, yeah, health and whatever are difficult, but Core is ranking sites in health and taking off big sites. You just have to be incredible, and I'm not incredible at that sort of stuff, so I'm not going to do it. But like, so I'm an investor in Sammy's site, upthegains.co.uk. That's
Oh,
YM&YL. That's health. I mean, sorry, that's wealth.
yeah.
And he's ranking for a lot of difficult keywords, even some of the most valuable personal finance keywords around there. And so it's not impossible to crack, but you do need to be good on a website front. You need to be very good on the links front. Sammy being the face of the brand gives him an advantage because he can go do digital PR that is him just telling stories. Um, Whereas it's more difficult if you are a faceless niche site. But yeah, if you just want to do like outsourced content or whatever, it's going to be very difficult, but it's not impossible. It just requires a proper put together strategy. And if you are the face of your brand like Sammy is or anyone else, it makes it a lot easier because that lends itself well to journalism and doing stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, Sammy's site's really good. I went on that. I was really surprised, not surprised, but I just wasn't expecting it. Just the whole layout and everything is that's like the epitome of a well done site. And so yeah, and he I mean he works really hard on it. He's very much doing all the things, all the eat things, which is what you need to do. So yeah.
Yeah, I think he's
Um,
doing a really good job.
I'm going to post another. Okay, so one of these resources is from FatRank as well. So I've put that video I put in there was a Mads interview talking about 301 redirects, and he said those are the two best. So yeah, start there. And are you gonna try and get to the SEO Mastery Summit next year in Vietnam?
I
SEO
would
brings
like to go.
around the world.
I was considering Estonia in a couple of weeks as well. I need to
Oh,
figure
really?
out that one.
A couple weeks. That's a bit close. What else is there anything? Is there a resource? Is there a resource that has like just I know there's event, but it's not somewhere you go to just find SEO or affiliate events. Is there
I
like a
don't know.
place there? Because I
Someone needs
just
to make
went.
a directory site, a niche site for affiliate events.
Oh really? Oh, did you say someone is or
No, someone needs to. So that's
oh
the new niche site idea.
I may or may not have acquired a domain for such a thing. So I was just checking
Then
if
get
there's
20% off the tickets. There we go.
that
That's
would
been
be
your affiliate
cool.
play.
That would be cool. I mean, like Eventbrite and Ticket, all those places have affiliate programs anyway. But it'd have to be, yeah, it would have to be like a programmatic SEO or API kind of thing where it's pulling because you'd have to otherwise be updating all of. Alex says it sounds like a niche site idea. I'm way ahead of you, Alex. I just need to I need to talk to Ian maybe to
Ian's
program.
definitely already done it since like
He
watching this. He's had it
probably,
on
yeah,
in
he's
like
probably doing
30
it now.
seconds.
It's like, wait, that's a good idea. She's gonna be slow to try and piece it together with her lack of programmatic SEO skills. Hey Phil, it's been a while. Phil wasn't at. Phil's usually another person that's at all of these events as well. I think. Um, yeah. What else is there? Is there anything you wanna? Do you want to talk about anything specific to Lasso? We've spoken briefly about. What I did want to ask you was when you make those posts and you said you put a box near the top, whereabouts near the top are we talking? Is it right? Like, is there an introduction and then the two product comparisons, or like where is it placed on the page?
The place where you think you're most likely to make the sale, where they are most ready to buy. Like, there's a critical mass point where people are like excited about something, and you like in the same way that like if you're having a great conversation with someone, the best thing you can do is just dip so they remember you at the best point of that conversation. Like you do the affiliate block where they're most likely to buy. So for me, it's pretty simple and pretty easy to like programmatically do. If you want to use these three paragraphs, you can, if you want to handwrite these things, you can choose to go differently. But as a good template, first paragraph, rapport building one, like I mentioned right at the beginning of this one, mention the main keyword, make sure that it's relevant in terms of like an NLP Google algorithm side thing, as well as building rapport. And then second paragraph, your main product, why. I personally feel that because of this specific thing that you'd have to have tested it to know that this, whatever is here.
Yeah,
And then quick roundup of the alternatives in the third paragraph. After that third paragraph, put the table of the best options in the same way for a single product review. You should do the key value judgment at top. Overall, I was enthusiastic when I got it, and I was unbelievably excited when I tested it, because now I realize that I can do this and this and this, and it's incredible. Pros and cons, sell. Quick value judgment, sell. And then for anyone that doesn't convert, then they basically, like, it's a magnifying glass. You zoom in on like the macroeconomic bit, and then if they don't convert in the main bit, they get the whole thing just in like 3 times as many words said again, but in more detail. But you want to round up all the key bits so that, like, from a TLDR perspective, you can just make 50% of the sales right at the top before anyone leaves and gets bored with the right CTA at the point of highest emotional involvement quickly, because you've piqued their interest in that top bit and now they're ready to buy.
I see.
So yeah, the blocks convert really well at the top if you've got them to that critical mass and triggered a buying action in the beginning. But like otherwise, it's like if you give someone dessert before they've eaten, if you haven't done the groundwork, they'll be like, why are you putting this in front of me? You haven't got me ready for this yet. So it's a combination of both the content and the dynamic boxes that you can then put in to take advantage of the interest you've created from the content, and using the spear framework or whatever other value judgments you want to take to be able to prepare them with that. And I'm sure that AI could do this pretty easily as well, but it just needs to do that job. It's
Yeah.
not filler text. It's important what you put there.
Okay. And those CTAs are those, so you've got your box, and then is that the only box that you'll have, and then you'll have buttons at those points that you mentioned?
So for me, some people will use the box for the top picks right at the top, and then make sure your table of contents, or like first H2 is below that. That needs to be the end of the intro, is the box usually, the table. If your top 3, top 4, top 2, top 1 pick. Then I usually have a couple of paragraphs that just sort of go through what I'm going to talk about. In this, I'm going to go through the top 10 vacuums. I'm also going to name 2 lesser known tips that vacuums can really help you with. I'm also going to name the factors to consider when buying, and a couple more things in the FAQs at the end. So read on. And then, whatever else. And then anything else that I think, if they didn't click the box, they would want to know to be ready to buy. Then they get the bulleted list, full list, which, if it's a very, very, very high price product, the bulleted list should not have direct affiliate links. It should have HTML anchors to the product so they can be shown more information before they buy. And if it's just like a fire alarm that's like, all right, give me the best option, then just have the straight affiliate links. I'd say if it's under $150 to $200, straight affiliate link. Higher priced, higher emotional, camera, sauna, HTML anchor from the bulleted list to the main thing, so that you can properly sell them on the information to get them over the line, where you can put a CTA in front of them and it will trigger a buying action. So then that's the second row. You went from the 3 main picks in the top picks block that I wanted to sell you at the beginning. Then you got every option in the bulleted list with the segment: best for kids, best for MacBooks, best for Windows, best for beginners, best for professionals, best for beginners, whatever else. Then you get into the main products, and in the main, say you got 10 products. The top pick obviously goes first, because you want to order it in the usefulness of that information, and if it's your top pick, it should be the most useful. Then you go and you do that. There's nothing wrong with writing twice as much on this one than the others, because the weighting is higher. Like 60% of this generally will probably, if you've done it properly, go towards this article, as long as it's not a really split up audience segments. But usually, especially on long tail, like, people are looking for the same thing. For something like just best vacuum cleaners, okay, it's going to be more fragmented. But for best, like, portable vacuum cleaners for kitchens, like, I think it's best 1 or 2, right? Like, there's only going to be 2 products on that page anyway. Then in those ones, I do it where I have image, H3, bullet points or table for the main specs, especially the ones that I think are important numerically to compare, and then a lasso block, or you can use anything else what you want, that has those custom fields, that has the pros and cons, has a brief description. AI can write those descriptions as well, and you can programmatically do that in Google Sheets. Has all of the things that lead to high conversion, such as a contrasting button color. I like to use, like, really, like, not neon, but almost neon red, kind of like the YouTube logo, really, like, not
Okay.
blood, but like higher, like, power, because a lot of my sites are like dark gray in, like, aesthetic, and so the red really sticks out. But you can use a color wheel, whatever's most contrasting. I recommend going with that. And then have the second button, if you have a second button, to either the full product review internal link, or to another secondary option, like maybe Amazon and going direct, have that in a slightly more dimmed version of that color. So it's like 3 shades darker, so that you're directing people towards your most profitable button, basically the affiliate link that gives you the highest commission. Then, so you mentioned, would you have the boxes anywhere else? I recommend doing that in your individual products.
Mm.
And in some people, instead of the bulleted list at the top in the beginning, they use a list. There's a Lasso list, which is like a vertical thin bit that then has like a quick rundown from all the products. I don't personally use those because I want to try and get snippets. And while they do use, I believe, list HTML, I just want to, like, I've been struggling to get um, feature snippets. I think if my site was in better like quality score shape, I would be able to use those lists, but I just
Mm.
have to go bare bones while I'm recovering. So the lists are a great option, and like there's a lot of big sites. I don't think I'm allowed to name our customers, but like 1 million plus traffic that use those a lot. But I just haven't personally, so I'm only going through what I personally do.
So ones that use the list block over
Yeah.
the list, the HTML list that you do.
Yes, so there's like 7 different designs that you can do. There's the table, single block, a bunch of others. One of which is the list, which gives you this really thin, quick summary with like a lot of like mini containers that have a brief description
Yeah.
and a rundown for that. And you can make them long. You can stick 150 words in there if you want, but generally that's best for the main product review where you do the big selling for anyone that didn't buy from that intro part.
Okay. There's a lot there. I'm gonna have to rip this audio and turn it into an actual audio book because yeah, there's a lot of a lot of solid information there. So I'm gonna have to go and press this button again. I'm gonna have to
This is
find a
the
better.
only time anyone's going to listen to this for free, because this is going right into the bulk publishing course, which everyone should buy
I,
after
I
this.
I know I might have to remix it. I'll give you credit, of course, but there's one before we go because we're gonna wrap up with I think it's been yeah, it's almost been an hour. That's amazing. Before we go, we've got a nice juicy topic to end on, and that's a question from where's it gone? I think it was from Niche Site Family. So we're going to talk about this Jamie's biggest win this year, and that was how he ratioed John Mueller. So Niche Site Family said, "Did John Moo slide in your DMs?"
No, I'll be honest, I don't want to like revive that. Like I did it, and I was on the train to Birmingham when I did it, and I wrote the post wherever I had a lot of time, and it felt good at the time. I was glued to my screen and whatever else. And I was drunk for the next couple of days because we were at Search Birmingham at the event, and everyone just gets drunk every night. And so you're on like that liquid confidence. We like, I don't care what they say, but really, like, I'm not one of those people that wants a target on my back under like like
Yeah,
show like Mockingjay movement head type thing. I don't want a target on my back. And I'll be honest, I've got a lot to lose now. If I get a pure spam penalty on my entire Google Search Console account because I said too much, I can't afford that. I can't afford to lose $1 million
yeah.
or whatever
It
it is.
shouldn't be the
But
case, but no, it's. I've heard it happen in the past. There was somebody else at Google that was not happy with someone, and they just de-indexed everything, and they're not technically supposed to be able to do that, but
data privacy violation. They don't know my real name on Twitter. It's not
yeah.
IF, right? My search console is my real name. So if they
But we
do that, it's a
don't know
data privacy violation.
we don't know what their data set is and what they do actually have. So yeah, no, you're right to be. But to be fair, you didn't say anything wrong. I can understand if somebody's ego would be hit by the Hulk because it's like all the responses after. There were a lot of responses after, and people obviously saw that as an opportunity to get their frustration out. If their site had been hit in the past, they get their frustration out now. But there was nothing. I read the whole thing, and that there was nothing wrong with what you'd said. It was, if anything, it'd be an ego thing. But yeah,
Yeah, you
I
just
thought
like,
that
I
was a
feel like
win.
it's dangerous to poke the bear when the bear is as powerful as it is, and
that's
also when I rely on the bear for my income.
that's true. There we go. It was Gareth said Paul Madden got whacked by Matt Cuts. This is way before my time, but I've heard the tale. So
They've gone after Charles. They've gone after Carl Roof. They've gone after other people
wow,
before and pure spam them
wow. Yeah, I get the Kyle thing because of the whole. They thought he was mocking them with the
with the
Lauren.
Lorem Ipsum thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Jamie, it's been great. Is there anything else you want to say? We've spoken about Lasso, but I'm happy for you to plug. I don't have an affiliate link just yet. When I do set it up, I thought I already had it, but when I do, I'll add it to the comments. But if you want to tell us a bit more about it for those who don't know who its main competitors are, So what they'd be if they don't have a solution for it already, or what they might want to upgrade, or why they might want to upgrade, that would be good.
Sure. So the main thing I just wanted to touch on in that, like, obviously we were kind of on a programmatic discussion because bulk publishing is crushing it, and you're able to output so much great content now, and so we've built bulk publishing features into Lasso now. So you can do programmatic with Lasso. You can bulk import things. You can
Yes.
import them en masse into your Google Sheets. And it will, if you do the short codes, you can automatically do that. Will chat Ariel, but I want to see if we can build an integration directly into bulk publishing and see if we can do a partnership collab there and maybe make it even easier to do affiliate marketing with the bulk publishing, the plugin and SaaS tool there. So I think that would be cool.
Sure.
So yeah, it's on the face of it, it's people see it and they see the affiliate displays. They're the best converting ones, proven scientifically on data. They look good. They are, the closest you can get to the wire cutters without being a big wire cutter brand with wire cutter budget. So it's a good way to act like a big player, even if you're still making your way. There's also really useful things to save you lots and lots of time, like link management in one central database. And it's a bit of a nightmare when you've got links all over the place, or like keeping hold of them in a Google Sheets. This will give you one place in your WordPress that you can do. And if you have 50 affiliate links across your site, you can switch them all in one go because it registers and sees they're all of the same link. And then you can just, in one toggle, replace that with something else. It will auto affiliate link your normal link, so you get paid for everything, even if you forget to put it on. And you can scan your site, which is what, much to his surprise, John Dykstra did at Christmas and found that he had 20 other tracking IDs on his site from people that had
Nice.
sneakily got past quality control. So it will make sure that you don't have leaks in your revenue funnel because some editor has gone, oh, I might stick my affiliate code on there.
So cheap.
Um, More interestingly, recently, we've been on the analytics side. So, whereas RPMs, Azoic, Mediavine, Raptive have really cracked it on the ads data side, I can see exactly what RPM every single article on my site got by category, by niche, by author. Really cool stuff, right? And we wanted to do that for affiliate because you're mostly shooting in the dark. I think that page is worth a lot because it has a lot of traffic and it has links on, but I have no idea. So what we do now is we'll automatically add every single unique sub ID to every single link on your site, and we'll be able to track on a complete attribution level how much every page on your site is worth, how much each link on your site is worth, and we can tell which links are worth different amounts on different pages to show on a product level on this vacuum is worth 60 cents per click on this page, but it's only worth 15 cents here. Maybe you should check why this is or whatever. And it will surface that your sleeper hits. This one's worth $2 a click, but you only have it in 2 locations. Maybe you should add it everywhere else on your site. And cool stuff like that. So you can prioritize, make loads more money. And who doesn't love money? So there we go. But mainly I wanted to talk about the programmatic stuff because I think that's cool. And I think that there's clearly an audience that are interested in it because you're crushing it on the programmatic side. And it'd be cool to get affiliate in there because it's mostly considered an informational thing. And I think that there's really good opportunities for affiliate bulk publishing that I think more people should know about and think about.
Yeah, the affiliate side of things. That was a nice note to end it on, especially the tip about making more money again, which is what unites us all most. And Zach has said upgrade because Lasso kicks ass, 1,000%
There we
better
go.
than the other affiliate plugins I've tried. And I honestly, when you started talking about the, I think you've been tweeting about it anyway, but the analytics side of things, that will win most people over because when you're taking a data driven approach, you're not just shooting in the dark. And I think we're now moving, even us beginners, we're now moving into a space where, well, I speak for myself. You've been data driven from the beginning, but I'm moving into a space where I need to look at my data and see where I'm wasting time, where I could be doing more, and squeezing the most juice out of the lemons that I've got. So definitely appreciate you coming on, Jamie, and we'll have to catch up again. In a few months' time. By the end of the year, I'm gonna be a pro live streamer and I'm gonna have better
Yeah.
sounds than these.
No, I feel like it's nostalgia now. That's the Candy Crush gem sound is like it's got like a nostalgia character to it now. You've got to keep it forever.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it sounds when I play it back. It might just be so annoying. So, but yeah, thanks for coming on. Where can they find you? I've got your name there, but where I've got it in the thing actually.
Yeah.
If, at Jamie underscore IF on Twitter. Is there anywhere else we can find you?
I have a website called increasing.com. If you go to increasing.com/newsletter, I do every Thursday I write about stuff about affiliate niche sites, all that sort of fun stuff. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Take your own pick and see if you like it or not. If you hate it, just unsubscribe. And I'm on YouTube. Type in Jamie If, and it will come up. And I make infrequent videos. I made the first one in 8 months um, yesterday, like last week, and so I'm back now. But who knows how long that will last?
All right, Jamie, thanks for coming on, and I will speak to you in a bit.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye, everyone.